Evening guys, how's it going? I haven't done one of these videos in a little while, so I thought I'd just jump straight back into it. Obviously I'm not at the game, I'm sat at home. I've got a stinking cold, so excuse the inevitable sniffles and bloody coughing that's probably going to come in the next couple of minutes. As I always do, I've just, it's not really an analysis, I just write down what I see and what I think in chronological order and rattle through it. You know, I'm no more qualified than any other guy to chat about football, but, you know, we all like doing it. I've got my illegal third shirt on, I'm feeling good. I'm sat in front of Podge's match-worn shirt there, and I'll just jump straight into it. So we started off today, 8th in the league, after 17 games. Crawley were 18th, but they've only played 16 games. Our last game, as we all know, was a 2-1 loss to Swindon, and tonight was a 1-1 draw, which leaves us 9th in the league. Next up, we got Colchester away, which is on Friday, and that works out as 3 games in 6 days for us, which is pretty brutal. First thoughts then before kickoff was main one, Kevin Ellison getting a start. Rowbury did mention that he was going to tinker with the squad potentially because of the the games are coming thick and fast, and he wanted to rest certain players. CBR obviously dropped to the bench for Kevin Ellison today, and I'm a massive fan of Kev's. I think he's absolutely great. He's not underappreciated. I think everybody loves him really, more so for his character than what's left of his football ability. I think he's still got a little bit of time left. I know he does a bit of coaching for us and that sort of stuff. I was really optimistic. Like I said, I love Kevin. I thought he was going to do work wonders. I turned out to be wrong, and I'm more than happy to admit when I'm wrong. So I'll just carry on. Yeah, my first thoughts, was just the Kev thing. I've written absolutely screaming out for a Dominic Telford hat-trick, but my prediction was 2-0 County at the beginning. I should probably change that and say, I thought it was going to be 1 all along, but I won't lie. Opening couple of minutes, the ball was in our possession most of the time. It was going side to side. We seemed to be working towards something quite patiently and waiting for the space to form. And it worked okay, but it was a lot of back passing side to side, which does get frustrating after a little while, especially if nothing comes of it. My initial thoughts, a couple of the Crawley defenders were absolutely massive. So I was thinking long throws and crosses might not be very effective in the air. All well and good keeping possession at the back, but as soon as we got a little bit of pressure, just like when we were against Swindon, we just flapped and everything fell to pieces and it was panic stations, and it's exactly what happened early on today as well. Cooper early on was very impressive. I think his work rate's really, really good, and I think his attitude's right, and I think he's, potentially if he stays in form and gets game time, he's going to be very good for us. But obviously he's just on loan. First 25 minutes, we did look the better team. A few good opportunities for us, and we definitely had more possession than Crawley did. About 30th minute, I'm just saying here, Cooper's everywhere. But his crosses and his passes seem to be quite heavy. A lot of his crosses were going, miles too deep or miles too wide or whatever. It's the same as his passes, a little bit heavy. Maybe a lack of experience or just the pressure getting to him potentially. But the way he works and the way he moves was really, really good. Crawley had a great chance on the break. Pretty much we were on the attack in the box. I'm not going to lie, I think Lewis took a dive to try and win us a penalty, but ref doesn't give it. And then Crawley counted really, really well, and we're lucky we didn't concede from it, to be fair. Nothing too exciting to report on in the first half. It was relatively boring, but we had 70% possession in the first half, which, you got to start hoping you'll do something with it, because if you have that much possession and can't sink one, or we didn't even have many shots on target, I don't think, in the first half. But, you got to turn that into something. 53rd minute, unfortunately, Matty Dolan took a knock to his head. And he looked quite shaken, to be fair. He didn't look in a great way. And he goes straight off and Kane comes on. And we seem to switch to a 4-4-2 from there instead of our normal back 3 or 5, however you want to call it. 54th minute, Crawley go 1-0 up. It was a set piece. It was a free kick taken with the right foot from the sort of right-hand side, just outside the box. Joe Day was planted, which was unlike him. We all know he's a great keeper, and our defence was just woeful. And I think it was a pie, I might be wrong. Absolute bullet of a diving header, fair play to him, it was class. But it was the defending, really. It could have been avoided, but there we go. And I've just written a big reaction needed. As we all know, these sorts of things, it's easy for your head to drop if you're playing poor football and you've got that much possession, you're still conceding goals. Yeah, Kev came off and CBR came on. Unfortunately, Kev was pretty bleak. He created... I'm not going to say it's all his fault, to be fair, because he probably did just as much as Dom Telford did in that opening 60 minutes, whatever it was there, 57th. The defenders were just working so well to keep our strikers out of it. But then the odd opportunity that Kev did have to run onto a pass, he stopped his run short, and a couple of his touches were just a bit naff. But he's not getting game time, so I don't know. I said in a tweet earlier on today, it would be nice now that Flynn's gone. I don't know if that's why Podge left. You know, there's rumours that they potentially fell out, or I think it just became apparent that Podge was never going to be in Flynn's plans going forward. But now that he's gone, it would be nice if Podge came home come January when we can recall him. Because let's be honest, if you want to rest one of your strikers, and as we know, CBR and Telford are absolutely on fire. I think they've scored 15 goals between them or something stupid. Don't quote me on that. I'm usually wrong when I just guess off the top of my head. But would you rather Kev, or would you rather have the option to potentially start Podge instead? I don't know. But it would be nice just to have him to do what he does. But there we go. It's not up to me, is it? Yeah, we played some really scrappy football from there. I'm going to skip through a lot of this because it's me moaning most of the time, and I write it down thinking, oh, that'll sound great when I video it, but I just look like I'm crying. But we didn't look threatening at all. They were all over us. Joe Day did make a couple of good saves, to be fair, so he could have kept us in it. Sorry, he did keep us in it, I think. But, you know, it was the defence's fault that they were getting through. And then 69th minute, ironically, Podge scores for Exeter. A little bit irrelevant to the Newport game, but it just backs up my wishful thinking to get him back in January. Again, horrible football being played, uninspiring, giving free kicks away and just accumulating yellow after yellow card. 81st minute, I'm writing here that we need a miracle. Our travelling fans deserve their money back at this point. It really, really was that bleak at that point, 81 minutes in, and we just absolutely looked down and out and, like, you know, needed a miracle. Yeah, Fisher jogs on in the 83rd. He's not done a great deal for us, really, has he? I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I'm not particularly feeling Fisher. But there we go. He's got a lovely ponytail. There we go. Cross from Cooper. Telford equalises with, I think, probably his first touch in the box. Maybe. I might be wrong. It was definitely his first shot. But, you know, he's a great player. And it's a credit to the Crawley guys that they managed to keep him quiet for so long. But yeah, Cooper with a nice little low-driven cross, and Dom Telford equalises. Too easy. No, it's not really, is it? And I've written here, imagine a late winner. You know, we've done it before. Let's hopefully do it again. But obviously, we know it doesn't come. 89th minute, Crawley boy, don't know who it was. I should really remember the names, but I hardly remember some of the Newport guys, to be fair. Chips Joe Day, and it looks like it's going in, but it just dinks the crossbar and comes back out. So that was, you know, a bit of a touch-and-go situation. A couple of minutes later, Joe Day with a massive save, a big, nice save that absolutely kept us in it. 6 added minutes, and, you know, it was just scrappy football, nothing too exciting going on. You know, it was just panic stations, as you'd imagine. Both of us sort of not playing for the point, but, you know, I hate the saying, a point gained instead of 2 dropped. But we deserved absolutely nothing from that game. It was all over anyway, a couple of minutes out, well, 6 minutes later. Didn't deserve it, but I'll take it, obviously. Dom Telford scored his 12th league goal. Yeah, we absolutely didn't deserve it. Absolutely robbed them. Played some terrible football. I can't imagine Rowbury being very pleased with it. But, you know, it's a point, not a point gain, 2 points drop sort of thing, but... We dropped down to 9th in the league, and we got another big away game on Friday. So that's we can only go up from there. That was awful football. I feel sorry for the guys that went. I don't know how many there were. It looked to be about 90, 100, 110 maybe, and they've got like a 3-hour drive home now. But yeah, it was a pretty bleak game, pretty boring. But Dom Telford doing what he does, and another step towards a fucking playoff final at Wembley. Not looking forward to that. Anyway, pretty uninspiring little video by me, and I've managed to keep it under 10 minutes, so the rest of the guys will be happy. Cheers for watching that, and you might hear from me on Friday. Peace.